All right, I've got my cup with water. Notice that it is only filled up halfway. This is really important because we're going to be dipping stuff in here and we don't want it to overflow. My water is going to the side over here, right? And I got my strips nearby and we're going to lube up my hand. Now, make sure my Band-Aid is nice and tight. We'll see. I don't know if that's going to work, but we'll see. All right, gonna lube up my hand, right? Got my paper towel nearby to wipe my other hand when I'm done. So nice chunk. All right, I'm gonna spread this all on my hand. Get it nice and greasy. A little on the wrist as well. Okay, smooth it out. Okay, in between the fingers, on everything, on the tops of the fingers, very important, okay? Now I can take my other hand and dry this off, and you might need a partner to help you with that. Just dry it off a little bit, but keep that lubed up. All right, now I'm gonna start dipping and wrapping. So I'm gonna start with the big strips on the back and palm of the hand. Real quick dunk, let it drip off. And then I'm gonna lay it on top and I'm gonna start smoothing it. And you see how the plaster dust turns to actual plaster. And I'm gonna smooth it out. Now, very important, we're keeping our fingers spread because the whole purpose is we're making this as a model to display your jewelry design. So, ready? Dunk and out. Okay, that was twice. That wasn't so good, but still. All right. This is so much easier when you do it with a partner. Okay, so now I've got wrapping it around the thumb, base of the thumb, rather. Right, and really take that time to get it nice and smooth because this is super important for getting the details of your hand. All right, get that in there. I'm also making sure that all the holes, little holes, get covered up with plaster and trying not to move this hand as much as possible. Another layer on the back of this. We have to do a couple of layers of this because we want our cast to be supporting the weight of the plaster when we pour it. All right, and I'm starting to make a kind of point by the wrist. That's going to be fairly even, and that's important. We need to have a good pour opening. Okay, so I got the beginning layers there, and now I'm going to start in on my fingers. I'm going to start by going between my fingers. Smoothing it out all the time, because the smoother I get it, the more detail of my hand I capture. Remember to overlap your gauze as well. And we're laying it gently, right? We're not having to, we don't need to tighten it or cut off our blood circulation. Please don't do that. Now I'm going to go back for a second round between my fingers. All right, now I'm going to start to do my fingers. So I'm going to start by, I think I'll wrap over the top like this. And I can't emphasize how important it is to be very gentle with your touch. Being heavy-handed is just going to break things. It's going to mess it up. Suave, más suave. All right, now the reason we only do 2 layers is because we want our casts to have a little bit of flexibility to come off easily. After we've taken off our cast, we're going to put some extra layers to reinforce it. But right now we have a fairly thin cast. Okay. So that's just my first layer on my hand. Okay. And I'm going to take my extra pieces. I want to go over areas like this. And here I don't have to have too much detail. In fact, I intentionally want to join the fingers together on the next layer because that's going to make them stronger. In terms of moving my hand inside here, I'm trying to keep movement to an absolute minimum. The more you move, the less detail you're going to get in your hand. So now, I'm moving my hand off with the paper towel. Now I'm going to let this sit for a couple of minutes before I try to take it off, okay?